We're putting together every moving piece of the federal and missing deceased scientist investigation as it stands right now. Energy Secretary Chris Wright has confirmed a coordinated probe. Retired General Blaine Holt went on Newsmax this weekend and said the intelligence agencies are split on whether this is even worth looking at. Congressman Eric Burleson is pushing the FBI to take over. Congressman Tim Burchett is describing a meeting with a Navy admiral that changes the framing entirely. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is demanding 46 classified files the Department of War says is lost. And President Trump has promised a public release of UFO documents in the coming days. Wow, a lot has happened over the weekend. Let's get straight into it. Hey ufologists, I'm Cristina Gomez and welcome to this episode of UFO News Updates. Energy Secretary Chris Wright appeared on Fox News on Sunday and confirmed the Department of Energy has a formal investigation opening. He said a lot of the nuclear security scientists sit inside the DOE, and the probe is part of a coordinated effort across multiple agencies. When asked what he has found so far, Wright said it's too early to say, but nothing alarming has turned up yet. So you mean 11 top scientists and those with top clearances have gone missing or dead, and that doesn't alarm him? But even Tim Burchett is getting on this too, and here's what he mentioned on the Will Cain Country. Take a listen.
I knew the pilots, one of the pilots that was involved in that. Yeah, they had they showed no heat signature. Yeah, an Admiral met in my office, and you can see that door right there. That's the side door. He left by that door, which was kind of odd. And the last thing he told me was Tim, they're real. But he discussed a situation where they had tracked on sonar something under the water that was big as a football field, doing over 200 miles an hour.
He is leading a bipartisan letter to the FBI asking for the national top investigators to treat this as the pattern it appears to be. Burchett's conclusion was simple. No nation on Earth has that technology, and no American commander would ever send a pilot into harm's way against our own drones. Here's what Burleson said on Fox News and Friends, describing the specific details that has federal investigators very concerned.
What's really disturbing when you look back and you reflect on it, you've got Monica Reza, you've got Anthony Chavez, you got Melissa Cassius, and you have Stephen Garcia. All of which, along with General McCaslin, walked out of their homes, or in the case of Mrs. Reza, she disappeared on a hike without their phones. They just literally disappeared, left all of their devices at home. This is not normal. These are some of the most advanced scientists, researchers in our nation, some of the most important people for a nation's national security efforts, and they all just mysteriously disappeared.
Here is the detail most outlets skip here. Monica Reza's advanced rocket materials work at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory was funded in part by the Air Force Research Laboratory, the same Air Force Research Laboratory that retired Major General Neil McCaslin commanded at Wright-Patterson. Authorities have not publicly confirmed a direct relationship between the two, but Reza vanished on a hiking trip back in June of 2025, and McCaslin vanished from his Albuquerque home in February of this year. Both were tied to the same research pipeline, and that is one of the connections the federal probe is now reportedly examining. So if two of these people were professionally linked to the same Air Force research lab, does that still fit inside just a casual coincidence? Is that still not alarming? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, but there is still more to this, so don't go anywhere, because what Burchett said next about how information gets buried is one of the most direct explanations any member of Congress has ever offered. In the same interview, Burchett offered an analogy that reframes the entire story. He said, imagine your family owned a nice restaurant, and maybe you know this analogy if you watch all of the news updates, because of course you want to keep up with the latest developments, but if you aren't staying up to date, don't worry, I won't hold it against you. So, you own a nice restaurant and you were worried the chef has given away your family recipes. You might rough up a couple of busboys to send a message. He was applying that logic directly to the scientists' deaths.
If I wanted to shut somebody up, there's a couple of ways you do it. You kill them, or you maybe take somebody out that's under you, and you see the writing on the wall.
Burchett is suggesting the scientists being killed or disappearing may not be the actual targets. He is suggesting there could be a message being sent to someone higher up, someone who knows something and is close to talking. He said some people inside government operate in a gray area, and in his words, we had better stay paying attention. Retired Air Force Brigadier General Blaine Holt went on Newsmax and said that almost no one else in the media has said this out loud. So per Newsmax, Holt said 2 similar incidents could be coincidence, but 11 is not. When he asked the question sitting underneath his entire investigation, that's when things began to change. Why is the White House opening this probe while the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, and the DIA have all passed on treating it as just an anomaly? He said there is a very big split inside the executive branch over whether this is a concerning issue, and the answer to that question is ongoing, and it has to be very revealing in itself. That is a retired general saying the nation's top intelligence agencies are really just kind of looking away. And this is all happening as Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna continues pushing for 46 specific classified UAP documents that she says the Department of War initially couldn't locate.
We had actually requested 46 documents specifically that the Department of War seemed to have lost our paperwork on. And then we did reach back out to them. Secretary Hegseth, of course, have been great on this issue. And now with that announcement, we're getting those documents. So I couldn't be happier.
President Trump announced a few days ago on Turning Point Action that he has directed Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to begin releasing government files related to UAP and unexplained aerial phenomena, and that those files will be coming out very soon, and that they are very interesting. Drawn from reporting by the New York Post, one source, we don't know who this source is, who has viewed the footage, described what is coming as material the public has never seen, but the first releases are expected to come, hopefully, in the next few days. Burchett was asked how certain he is that the United States has made contact. His answer was this.
If I asked you, put a percentage on it, that we have made contacts with aliens, what your certainty would be at what percentage?
100%.
100%.
I've talked to too many people. I've talked to too much. No. I mean, some of these people that they got nothing to risk but their lives and their reputation.
So, do you believe the coming files released from the White House will confirm anything, or will they just turn around and say, they're just black project type craft? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Cristina Gomez, and that's it for today. I will see you again tomorrow for another UFO news update. Be safe, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies. If you enjoyed today's show, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the notification bell as I do daily UFO news and updates. Fresh UAP stories, government disclosures, and breaking developments land here every single day.